ഒരു ദിവസത്തെ സന്ദർശനത്തിനായി കേരളത്തിലെത്തിയ കേന്ദ്ര സഹമന്ത്രി രാജീവ് ചന്ദ്രശേഖറിന് രാവിലെ കരിപ്പൂരിൽ ഊഷ്മള സ്വീകരണം. ജില്ലാ ഭരണകൂടവും ബിജെപി നേതാക്കളും ചേർന്ന് അദ്ദേഹത്തെ സ്വീകരിച്ചു. തുടർന്ന് അദ്ദേഹം കോഴിക്കോട് നാഷണൽ ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട് ഓഫ് ടെക്നോളജി സന്ദർശിച്ചു.
I'll give you an example. Manufacture in India, you design in India. 1.6 trillion is the global market.
On September 13th, with other IITs in
വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളുമായും ഗവേഷകരുമായും സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് സംരംഭകരുമായും അദ്ദേഹം സംവദിക്കുകയാണ്. അതിന്റെ തത്സമയ ദൃശ്യങ്ങളിലേക്ക്.
Why are you worried about blockchain and Web 3.0? You should be focused on electronic system design. All of those other opportunities that I'm talking of throughout the country. Focus on next-gen system design. There are all kinds of opportunities there, including in the semiconductor design space. So don't just close your eyes to this and go off into that space. We can't afford to lose all the electronics people to coding and blockchain. We want some of them to stay back in the electronics domain.
Thank you, sir.
I can take one more question and then we can wind up.
Yeah, we'll take one more question.
Maybe a lady student, just to balance. No? Okay.
So with 5G coming around the corner, we have, with things like edge computing, we will soon see a lot more AI applications making their way into a lot of new industries. So we know that like when tech initially started, the adoption of tech was, people were very skeptical about it, and people are definitely going to be skeptical about the coming of AI. So how are we going to educate people about this and basically erase the dilemma of autonomous or AI in general is going to take over the human race, or that kind of a dilemma that's just been playing on people's heads? And how are we going to encourage other low AI adopting industries to start adopting AI?
I wanted to make one point to the previous gentleman also about, he made a very good point about we were tech consumers and now we are developing technology for the world. In 2015, when the Prime Minister launched Digital India, he laid out 3 broad objectives. And the third objective, I won't go into the first 2. The third objective is that we wanted to go to become the global leader on technologies, or at least be about the leading pack. I want to say this in the context of my own experience. When I built wireless networks in India, every piece of equipment was imported. I mean, excepting for the screw and the screwdriver, and I think in many cases even that was imported. Every piece, the radio, the switch, the long haul microwave, all of that was imported. Today we are for the first time launching 5G with virtual RAN, open RAN types of networks, where a significant part of the value of a wireless network will be designed and or built in India. Which is so, that just shows you the long journey that we have traveled, and I agree that is the same metric that we will use even in the Web 3.0 space. On the issue of AI, look, I want to say as students, we believe that AI is a big kinetic enabler of the digital economy. It is going to be big, it is huge, and we will be not shy about growing the AI economy. But there will be some boundary conditions, there will be some boundary tests that will be established by law, including the new Digital India Act, which is about ethical use of AI. And we will continue to do rules on how data sets can be used, who can access the data sets, and very shortly we are launching one of the world's largest non-personal anonymized data sets program called the India Data Sets Program, which will be accessible by only Indian researchers and Indian startups. So data sets, an AI program, and the boundary conditions of ethical use and safety and trust will make sure that we will obviously do the advocacy and education, but even if somebody wants to do something wrong with the data sets and the algorithms that he or she formulates, he will then fall violative of law, because user harm, user safety, user trust, and ethical use will be coded into law.